have a review about a subject that we already talked in the past, but I think we need to clarify it in order for you to go to the next level. Okay, we're going to be talking about the conditionals. Okay, so conditionals are used basically to speculate about things that might happen in the past, might happen in the future, or maybe we think it could happen. Okay, most sentences that use conditionals have the term if and. Okay, most of the constructions of the conditionals in English are used with sentence that has the verbs in the past tense. Okay, this is called their real past because we use a past tense, but we're not exactly referring to something that actually happened. Most of the things that we refer to are things that we're guessing might happen or things that we wish would happen. Okay, so in all cases, the first thing that you need to see in a conditional is the term if. Okay, there's a main statement, there's the if, and there's another statement. Usually it's an action with a reaction or a consequence. Okay, that is the construction or the basic construction of the conditionals. Okay, let's start with the type of conditionals. There are several types of conditionals. The first one is the zero conditional, and we write the zero conditional in present simple. Okay, so we start with the if plus the action in present simple plus the consequence in present simple. Okay, we use this conditional when we know that results are always going to be the same. It's a fact, and it's always a fact for that specific situation. It's never going to change. Okay, so for example, if water reaches 100 degrees, it boils. That's a fact. Okay, no matter what, for that situation, if you set the water for 100 degrees, it will boil. That's it. Okay, if I eat peanuts, I am sick. In my case, that it's true because I'm allergic to peanuts. So if I eat peanuts, I'm gonna get sick. Okay, it's a specific for that situation. It's always going to happen for that specific situation. Okay, so let's see a couple of examples to understand better what I'm talking about. If people eat too much, they get fat. If you touch a fire, you get burned. People die if they don't eat. You get water if you mix hydrogen and oxygen. Snakes bite if they're scared. If babies are hungry, they cry. For these specific situations, all of that consequences are always going to be the same. Okay? That is what the zero conditional states. It's always a fact for a certain situation. Now let's talk about the first conditional. The first conditional talks in the present simple, but after the if. Okay, so it will be if plus the present simple plus will plus infinitive. Okay, we use the first conditional to talk about things that might happen in the future, but we cannot be certain about it. Okay, it describes a possibility. If it rains, I won't go to the park. If I study today, I will go to the party tonight. If I have enough money, I will buy some new shoes. She will be late if the rain is delayed. She will miss the bus if she doesn't leave soon. If I see her, I will tell her. Okay, these are things that are in the future and might happen. We're not completely sure. Because, for example, it looks like it's going to be a rainy day, but we're not sure if it's going to rain the whole day, so we cannot ensure that we're not going to go to the park. Okay, so we're just guessing about the future. That is what the first conditional states. For the second conditional, we use the term if plus the past simple plus would plus the infinitive. The second conditional has two uses. Okay, the first one is that we can use it to talk about things in the future that are probably not going to be true. Maybe I'm imagining something. For example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. It's more likely that I don't win the lottery. So I am imagining what could happen if I do. And in the second case, we used to talk about something in the present which is impossible, because it's not true. Okay, let's see the example so we can understand better. If I had his number, I will call him. I don't have the number of the person right now, so right now it's impossible for me to call him. Okay, I don't know if you can follow me so far. So we have two types of ways that we can use the second conditional. The first one is when we imagine something in the future that it's very unlikely to happen. And the second one, it's when we talk about things that are impossible to happen, okay? Then we have the third conditional. We make the third conditional with the term if plus the past perfect plus would plus have plus the past participle, okay? We use the third conditional to describe a situation that didn't happen and we're imagining the result of that situation, okay? If she had studied, she would have passed the exam. But we know that she didn't study and that's why she didn't pass the exam. So we're just taking a situation and imagine a different result, okay? Let's see the second example. If I hadn't eaten so much, I wouldn't have felt sick. If we had taken a taxi, we wouldn't have missed the plane. She wouldn't have been tired if she had gone to bed earlier. She would have become a teacher if she had gone to university. He would have been on time for the interview if he had left the house at 9, okay? Here, as you can see, we're talking about something that happened in the past and we're imagining what could it happen? What could be the result if things work out differently? Okay, let's talk about some difference between the types of conditionals. Okay, the first conditional describes a particular situation, but the zero conditional describes what happens in general. Okay, so for example, the zero conditional: if you sit in the sun, you get burned. But the first conditional says, if you sit in the sun, you will get burned. Okay, the first one, it states for a fact. And the second one just describes something that could happen in general, okay? It's not a repetitive reaction for this action, okay? The first conditional describes things that I think are likely to happen in the future. But the second conditional talks about things that I don't think will really happen, okay? It's subjective. It depends on the point of the view of the reader or the writer, okay? For example, the first conditional states, if she studies harder, she will pass the exam. While the second conditional states, if she studied harder, she would pass the exam. The first one is more like an asseveration, and the second one, it's like, I don't think it would happen, okay? The third conditional describes things that I imagine could happen in the past, where the second conditional talks about things that I don't think will happen. Okay, the example in the third conditional would state, he wouldn't be late if he had woke up early, while the second conditional says, if he woke up early, he would be on time. In the first one, we're talking about what he didn't do and how things worked out. But for the other example with the second conditional, we're talking about what could it happen and how would it work out, okay? We have another type of conditional that is called the mixed conditional, and the mixed conditional, it's used to refer to a time in the past and a situation that has not yet ended in the present, okay? It's based on facts that are opposite to what it's been expressed. The mixed conditional is used to refer to a condition of the past that it's not real and its probable result in the present. Let's see at the constructions and the examples so you can understand better what we're talking about. If plus past perfect or simple past is how we construct this, okay? And the main preposition will be in the present conditional, okay? So for example, if this thing had happened, that thing would happen. Okay? If I had worked harder at school, I would have a better job now. If we had looked at the map, we wouldn't be lost. If you weren't afraid of spiders, you would have picked it up and put it outside. See, these are things that didn't quite happen in the past, and for that matter, didn't end it in the present. So we're kind of imagining the actual outcome, okay? The real outcome, the fact of what would happen. As usual, I'm going to give you a little support material so you can practice a little bit more of this content, okay? The 3 videos that I'm leaving you today are from the BBC English YouTube channel, and I highly recommend you to check out this channel for practicing your English. They have a really nice conversational videos that doesn't go over the 5 minutes, and they're really easy to digest. So the first one, it's a review of all the conditionals. Then it's a grammar video talking about the mixed conditionals, how to use them and where to use them and how exactly is the grammar of these ones. And the third one, it's practical examples of the mixed conditionals, okay? Like I said at the beginning, this is a review of a piece of grammar that we already discussed in class, but I really thought that you needed to go over it again because I felt that there are some loose ends over there. And I added the mixed conditionals to this grammar class so you can have more material, okay? Remember that if you have any comments, any questions, or just want to chat with me, you can leave me a comment on the Google Classroom. You can contact me through the Hangouts application, or you just can send me an email, okay? I am always happy to receive any of your messages, okay, kids? Well, we will see you in the next class. Have a nice day. Bye, guys.